Hi everyone, it's Heather from True North Spirit Medicine. How are you going today? Today I'm going to be doing the monthly energy reading for December 2023. I love it when I get the date right. It's kind of exciting. Okay, so the last month's been a bit full on. There's been big full moons and lots of solar flares and lots and lots and lots and lots of the letting go energy as well. You know, letting go of old ways of being and seeing, and we've been talking about this for a couple of months now, and I feel like November was another kind of step up into that energy of discarding that which is no longer needed. So well done if you've been, you know, peeling back the onion and stripping off the layers, and they're showing me a picture of a beautiful kind of lotus coming up out of the mud. So even if your world might feel a bit kind of, they're showing me one of the cards that I've already drawn. Even if your world might feel a bit kind of crumbly and dark and cavernous, they want us to know that light is coming and that the lotus blooms from the mud of the swamp. Okay? There is hope. There is always hope. And if you're not seeing it, remember to ask for it, okay? Have a look at my Set the Symbol video. I've renamed it. I think I've called it How to Talk to the Universe in 5 Easy Steps, which is what it kind of is. But yeah, that's a really good, fast, easy technique that anyone can use to get answers quickly from the universe about, am I on the right track? Show me hope, anything, okay? Yeah, I feel like there was other stuff I was going to say, but I don't know what it is. It'll come out in the video. Okay, so today I'm using the Rebecca Campbell's deck, Work Your Light Oracle cards. I felt like I wanted to use the lightest, brightest deck that I have for our reading today, and this was the one that fit that description. And again, I'm in the new venue, which seemed to work well last month, so I'm sticking with it, which is nice. And it is a little bit echoey. I think it's okay with the microphone, but I didn't want the shuffling of the cards on camera, so I shuffled and drew the cards just before I turned the camera on, and I've ended up with 5, which is, you know, interesting. I actually brought a second deck with me, but because I've got 5 of this one, I thought that we don't want this video to be an hour long. But there's sort of 2 pairs within this arrangement, which will make sense in a minute. So I think it'll be okay. Okay, so I'll get to the cards in a minute. I'll do the direct channel first, and I'll upload the cards onto my social media, Facebook and Instagram, usually a couple of days after I've uploaded the video. So keep an eye out there if you want to have a closer look at any of the details in the cards. And they're reminding us of what we said last month about if you get your own insights, or if you see something in the cards that's relevant to you that I haven't mentioned on camera, then that's as valid, okay? That's as valid as what we have to say here. So please work on updating, increasing, working with your own intuition with these readings as well. And please know that your instincts are as valid as mine. You know, they come from the same source. So that's the important thing, the love, okay? Yeah, I don't think there was anything else I wanted to say before we got going. So I'm going to do the channel and see what we get, and then I'll get to the cards. Okay, exciting. I really like sitting down with you and with them, our team, and this council of elders that we speak with. I always wake up excited. It's nice. Okay, oh, they're fast. Greetings, dear ones, and thank you again for sitting with us today. And indeed, we did come in super fast, as you would say, to Heather's energy field this morning. Before she even finished speaking, we were here. And the breath and the pause that you saw before she spoke with our words was merely her taking a moment to enjoy our presence before she spoke. It wasn't to wait for us to come in at all. It is like that practice, is it Buddhist, is it not? Where they teach you to slow down and eat one single strawberry with great deliberation. Close your eyes, bite into it. Chew each mouthful carefully, mindfully, tastefully before you take the next bite and the next. And we want to speak of these pauses in life and how important they are. It is like a cat when it rests. It has a sleep and then it rests. Or a dog. Animals are our great teachers. They teach us to rest when it's too hot, or to sleep when it's too cold and rainy. They aren't necessarily like us humans, where we busy and busy and busy ourselves regardless of our mood or regardless of the temperature and the weather. We feel we must stick to a timetable and stick to a schedule and be on time all of the time. Whereas a cat does not wear a wristwatch. A dog does not have an alarm clock. Our domestic pets, the only things they are generally guided by are their stomachs, their need for play, exercise, and our affection. And really they are the only things they are governed by: food, sleep, and companionship. This month of December, which can get very busy with your festive season, we would like to remind you of the importance of the rest and the pause. And we are reminded of the spaces in music. Heather once asked an old friend of hers who understands music why live music, when it was recorded in an electronic fashion, sounded hollow and tinny to her ears. And he told her that in order to compress the music files down small enough to fit onto your Walkman or your iPod or your MP3, or squish them down into those tiny files that you download so quickly from the cloud, what they have to do is to take the silences out, the spaces between the notes. They take up space, do they not? That pause between one beat and another. And so in order to compress the file size down small enough so it will fit into your ear, they take out the silences. And once Heather heard that, she was like, that makes sense to me. My ears hear it as tinny. But what she is missing is that depth and that breadth and that fullness of the sound as the notes echo into that silent space between the notes. And we want to compare this to your daily lives, my friends. If you are always too busy or too rushed or too, whatever it is, then you will miss the peace in the silence, in the beats between the notes. And we would like to remind you that it is a magnetic universe, my friends. So like attracts like. If you spend the whole month or your whole life saying, I am too busy, I am too full, too much, too broke, too rich, too poor, too sick, too healthy, I have too many things on my plate, I have too much to do, then that is the order that you are giving to the universe, my friends. And the universe is benevolent and full of love, and it assumes that what you are asking for is what you desire. So if you ask for too much of everything, or not enough time, for example, then that is exactly what you will get. That is exactly how you will feel. And you will find that you are surrounded by people who have those same feelings and have those similar thoughts. Oh yes, the world is very busy. Oh yes, December is expensive. Oh yes, there's too much to do all of the time. Whereas you flip and switch your perception to being one who pays attention to the pauses between things and allows yourself the richness and the fullness of the space between the notes, so to speak. You will find that there are many of us that dwell in that space between the notes, so to speak. There is a whole entourage of us, just as there are thousands and millions of light worker people as well, who dwell in that space between the busyness. You are welcome to join us here, my friends, in this calm soup of potentials, where the flow of life will take you exactly where you need to be and exactly when you need to be. We, of course, are not talking about throwing your alarm clock out the window and being late for your job every day. That would not be helpful, no. But what we are talking about is a mindset, a consciousness shift, where instead of being too much, too busy, too focused, you can be on time, all of the time. You can breathe into the spaces between the notes and feel the expansion. It is like when you walk into a cathedral, whether that is a human-built space or a natural one, and feel the vastness in the air. That is what we would like you to feel in every breath that you take. Practice expanding your breath and your heart space out to the edges of your macabre, my friends. This is the practice for the month. And as you practice sending your breath out into the edges of your macabre, this 26 feet, 8 meter diameter circle or bubble or cloud around you and beyond, you will start to feel that expansion. You will start to feel that peace. You will start to feel that space and abundance of time and effort and energy and support and assistance and love and benevolence and kindness and joy and laughter, and all of the good things are there. You just have to open your eyes to that which is before you. Just like the strawberry. You can eat a whole punnet mindlessly watching television or reading a book or staring out the window and look down and not even notice that you've eaten them. Or you could take one and eat it slowly and mindfully and taste it and feel it and allow your mind to wander to the moments when you first tasted a strawberry or when you had them as celebration. And of course, strawberry is just an example, my friends. But you understand our point of slowing down, being calm, being at peace, and sending as much as that peace and benevolence out into the world. For you are powerful. You are in the right place at the right time. Your calm, powerful presence is needed more than ever on the planet. But you do not do this alone. You have all of us to help you. And with that, we will leave you for now, and we will come back through the cards as always. We send you much love and gratitude for being here, my friends. We congratulate you for being here in these rocky, surf-filled times. Know that you are built for this. Know that we have your back. And know that we love you dearly. And so it is. Nice. I think one of my favorite things about doing these videos, it kind of reminds me of when I do Reiki. Like, I get filled up with it in order to give Reiki. And in order to do these channeled messages for you, I get filled up with them. It's like sitting at a table with, you know, a whole bunch of really awesome, inspiring, kind, loving people. So thank you for inspiring me to keep going and film these videos. I don't want to open my eyes. It feels so nice. Whew. Okay. I almost feel like I could leave it there. I probably could. Not going to though. They did keep pointing out some of these cards as we were talking then. I'll show them to you because, you know, that's relevant. This one, the Council of Light, I've got it in position 1, 2, 3, 4. But they're pointing out, you know, they kept pointing out this kind of entourage of helpers that we all have. It's nice. Okay. First card, yes. Just say yes. I laughed when I pulled this out. So it's got 3 women standing around. Sorry, I was still a bit spacey from the channel because that felt big and light, but big, you know. Anyway, 3 women standing around in like a pyramid shape, blue pyramid shape on a pink rocky kind of background. Beautiful white light, circles of white light coming down. So they're pointing out those sort of white dots coming straight down, and that the center woman has her hands like in a triangle shape, and the 2 other women also have white sparkly dots above their hands. And I feel like I want to say this card is giving you permission. So I feel like this is, for myself as well, I feel like this is answering a question for me and others. Should I do this? Should I do that? You know, and the answer is yes. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Yes, 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 yes. And these kind of white lights, the star kind of lights, they're saying is sort of, oh look, and there's stars here. It's sort of indicative of the level of support that you have for this venture or whatever it is that you're wanting the answer to. Yeah, so it's like these stars are like I want to say celestial ancestors, the star mothers, the divine helpers, the council of elders, the spirit guides, the whatever it is you want to call them. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter, mate. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what name you give that benevolent force, as long as it feels loving, you know you're on the right track. But yes is the answer, okay? I don't feel like I've got much more to say to that. Like when I pulled it, I just kind of laughed, going, okay, yes. Because, yeah, I asked a question this morning about should I keep going with this new business venture that I've started, and I feel like this card is in part answering that for myself as well as for whoever else. But yes, 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 and there's a lot of support. That's nice. Okay, and these next 2 cards kind of go together. Remember I said at the beginning there's kind of 2 pairs within this spread of 5. So the first one, that yes card, sort of sits by itself, and then this next 2 and the last 2 sort of sit together. So the second one says, don't dim your light to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in, is the question underneath. And the card, next one, is the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? And I feel like these 2 are sort of go together. Okay, the second card, don't dim your light to fit in. It's got a woman and then the picture's echoed. And she's got like pink and purple robes on, and she's sort of doing this with her hands, like covering her eyes. And there's another pyramid in the background with the third eye with bright lights coming off it. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Yeah, it's a really interesting looking card. Then just saying stop it. That's funny. I'm reminded of that Marianne Williamson poem, the one that Nelson Mandela used in his inauguration speech when he first became the president of South Africa after being jailed for 20-something years, 27 years, I think. Where the poem says something like, basically, don't dim your light, don't hide yourself under a bushel. It doesn't serve anyone to do that. And it reminded me of something else, and it's just slipped from my consciousness, so I'll see if I can get that back. No. Sometimes they'll kind of drop in and be very eloquent, and I don't know what they were going to say next. It'll come back if it's important. It's all right. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Yeah, just stop it. Oh yeah, thank you. I'm reading a book. I'm reading a few at the same time, but this one's called Shut Your Monkey, which is quite funny, and it's got a picture of a banana on the front of it, and it's written by a guy called Danny Gregory. And he's a visual artist, graphic designer, I think. No, not a graphic designer. Anyway, illustrator. There you go. And I started following him on YouTube. He's on Instagram and all the rest of it. I started following him a little while ago because I've been hooking back into kind of training myself visual art skills recently. And he's quite inspiring. He's very down to earth. Originally English, but lives in New York now, so he's got that sort of softer, almost Canadian accent. He's good. I like him, and he's written a few books, and so I've bought a couple of them, and this one called Shut Your Monkey is basically about that kind of, the monkey on your back that tells you that you can't or you shouldn't or you're not good enough or you need another degree or whatever it is. We've all got it, especially creative people, that sort of monkey that tells you that you can't. And so the other thing, apart from when they were like, oh, just stop dimming your light, I had the image of the front cover of this book of Shut Your Monkey. And again, it's like reminding us of what we said in the first channel. It's a shift in perspective. So I was sort of flicking through this Shut Your Monkey book yesterday, and I'm not reading it in order. I'm just randomly reading different pages whenever I feel like it. He says the opposite of the monkey is the lion. So it's like you had a picture of a sketch of a lion, and he's put like a crown on it. It's like that's the one you feed. Pay attention to that. So it's like that old sort of adage about, was it the eagle and the something lives inside you, and which one? No, two wolves. Which one are you going to feed, fear or love? And so you got your monkey on the back going, you can't. But you've also got your lion going, yes, you can. Be proud, be courageous, be, the king or queen of the tribe, or, whatever it is. So, and again, you've got support. They're pointing out all this kind of white light stuff in the background, the triangle and the eye and the beams of light. There's so much support. Like with all of that kind of increase in energy and the new solar flares and all of that stuff that we've kind of been like surfing through, and particularly in the last month, it doesn't come unsupported. None of that comes unsupported. So it's not like you're the new kid at school and you're just thrown into the classroom and sink or swim. It's like all of this, the new, and actually they're saying the new energy coming to the planet that we see as, you know, solar flares and the beautiful auroras, that is the support, you know, that is the light, you know, and they're pointing at the light in this, sugar. They're pointing out the light in this last card as well. You know, these beams coming in, all of them have these beams of light. All of the cards have beams of light coming in. So, you know, you're supported in helping to feed your lion. You've just got to, you know, planet of free will, you've got to choose to flip that coin out of fear and scarcity and not enough and all the rest of it. Scarcity mentality, isn't it? Into love and abundance and that expansion of the space, you know. That's working with the void, isn't it? That's working with voidal energy, that potential of all things, you know. I was just listening to a Pam Gregory video recently, and she often talks about plasma. And that's interesting because plasma kind of dropped into my head when I was getting ready this morning to come do this video for you. I don't really understand much about plasma yet. But the way that Pam Gregory and others talk about it, it's like, you know, we kind of talk about this invisible void of potentials and soup of energy and the field and all the rest of it. And it can feel quite abstract. And then we talk about, you know, this table or this card or this cup of water, and that feels very solid and 3 or 4 dimensional, you know. And what's in between this, you know, this invisible imaginary stuff and this 3 or 4D reality, and what some of the cutting edge thought leaders and scientists are saying now, or looking at now and discovering, I guess, is plasma, you know. And that's the sort of almost like a gradation of energy, a gradation of frequency. And what I'm seeing in my mind is like if you've got a really, you know, a black pencil and you get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, and it comes down to white or whatever, you know, like that gradation of colour is kind of what we're talking about. So if you imagine the kind of the voidal energy being invisible and the 3 or 4D energy of this cup or whatever is tangible material reality, then there's a progression, isn't it? You know, it's not just suddenly invisible to here, although sometimes it might feel like that, going, oh, you know, when you run into someone you haven't seen for ages, or you meet someone inspiring, or it's like, can seem quite sudden, but there's been a process, hasn't there, you know? And they're saying that, reminding us about that breath and breathing into that space, that's part of the process, you know, of opening yourself up and allowing yourself to be more in that flow. They were talking something last month about, you know, that flow will wear down rocks, that love will wear down rocks, that water will wear down rocks, which to us seem quite, you know, solid and can't put your hand through it, whereas you can with water, you know. But the water is actually the most powerful force, just like love is the most powerful force, even though it doesn't seem like it, you know. Yeah, it's like stay the course. Yeah, interesting. Okay, that makes sense, I think. Okay, next card says the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? And this card kind of reminds me of the Tower card in the tarot. I think that's what it's meant to kind of look like. So it's got these 2 kind of big pillars or a big grey stone doorway and some lightning, a clear white column of light coming down the middle, and in the middle it's almost like a doorway, although it looks more like a crack in a, you know, in a tower. Is beautiful sunlit fields and mountains and streams and flowers and stuff. The crumbling, what are you clinging on to? So again, they're talking about hope, you know. It might look like the world's going to hell in a handbasket at the moment. And for some people it is. But remember compassionate action, you know, it's really important. And remember, if you're feeling a bit dark, remember to ask for hope, you know, because we all need this lighthouse beam of light to light our way sometimes, you know. If we're feeling a bit lost, if we're feeling a bit caught up in these kind of, in the sides, you know, the crumbling tower going, oh no, look at that war machine, it's still going, or look at that big farmer, it's still going, or look at that hatred machine that they keep trying to pump fear into us. It's still going. But if you've noticed, it's like an old rusty machine that the wheels are falling off and that everything's rusted out. And there's a lot of people standing on the sideline going, actually, the emperor has no clothes on, you know, which gives me a great deal of hope. And that's that. That's this. We've got to stay focused on this. You know, and that's personal and collective, isn't it? So in your own personal life, what are you clinging on to? What old version of yourself are you clinging on to? Are you too little, too big, too small, too rich, too poor, too old, too young, too, you know, what label have you stuck on yourself? It's like a whole bunch of Post-it notes you've stuck on yourself. Kryon talks about this in one like old channel. He calls he's American, or Lee Carroll's American, so he calls them sticky notes instead of Post-it notes. We call them Post-it notes in Australia anyway. Anyway, this one channel which I remember thinking was quite fun and funny at the time is like sticky notes, sticky notes, sticky notes. Like you wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm female, or my name's Heather, or I live in Australia, or, you know, you put all these labels on yourself. And the invitation in that channel and what we're being reminded of today is you can shake yourself off like a dog, you know, after it's been in the water, and just get rid of all of those Post-it notes, those sticky notes, those labels you put on yourself. Just get rid of them, you know. Start again, start fresh every day. I am healthy, I am abundant, I am wise, I am in the right place at the right time, I am benevolent, I am a powerful force on the planet, I am loving, I am whatever it is, you know. I have everything that I need. And again, the gratitude, that strawberry being the example. If you don't like strawberries, obviously don't eat a strawberry slowly. But you know, it's you understand the principle of what they're saying. Focus on the flowers. They're saying focus on the flowers, not on the ash, not on the dust, not on the dark. You know, be aware of it so you can send light to it. Be aware of the old you that walked through the world, maybe more full of fear, or more full of stress, or more full of whatever. Be aware of that, be grateful for that and the lessons that it taught you, but you can let it go, you know. Yes, you're allowed to let it go. Yes. You can change your mind. You're allowed to change your mind. I feel like that's important, you know. They are reminding me, before we go on to the last two cards, they are reminding me of when we were talking about compassionate action last month. I forgot possibly the most important part. And when I made the short video, like if you look on the, you know, my videos, you'll see it. I put a note on because I can put, hi, I'm back. The battery died. Like, what the hell? And then I couldn't get an extension cord. And then I had to plug it in, but where the plug is not near where I'm set up. Anyway, I realised that I had to take my own advice of going with the flow and just wait and just sit in this room and be calm and wait for the battery to charge. Okay, so that's a bit funny. So I can't remember exactly what I was saying before the battery died. So I'm going to continue as best I can, and hopefully the battery will last. Okay, so that 1, 2, 3, fourth and fifth card kind of go together. Council of Light and Soul Family. Council of Light says divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. And I showed this to you briefly a minute ago. And I'll drop it into the video. So it's got a beautiful assortment of ascended masters and divine helpers. There's someone that looks like the Buddha, there's someone that looks like Yeshua, there's someone that looks like Mary, and other people, higher order entities from different cultures, all sort of standing around looking very benevolent and loving, with lots of those beautiful kind of star family points of light in it. And again, the colours are all pinks and blues and quite beautiful. And the last card, because remember these two sort of go together, is Soul Family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. and it's got two women with their palms together facing each other in a field of flowers on the edge of the ocean, and there's dolphins and whales splashing around in the water, and again beautiful beams of light coming up from the ocean in the background. So they want me to read these two cards together, and they're like support, 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 support. There's lots of support, okay? You are not doing this alone. It might feel like it sometimes, but that's not accurate, okay? You're not born alone. You do not die alone. You come in with an entourage. They stay with you your whole life, and they're with you when you pass away. Okay, if you can't see them or feel them or know that they're there, then it's time to retune that radio dial of your own inner frequency and hook into it, people. You know, they're there, they're real, they're measurable. You know, it's your support crew. It's the backstage crew that you have. You might feel like you're on stage all by yourself, you know, going, I don't know what I'm doing, and everything's, you know, you might feel directionless or purposeless, a sense of purposelessness. Oh, that's hard to say. And if you do, that's okay. Honor those feelings, but you don't have to stay stuck in that feeling. You don't have to stay stuck in this crumbling tower-like energy. You can shift your focus, open your awareness, breathe into your heart space, ask for assistance, ask for help, ask for hope, ask to be shown your entourage, ask to be, you know, guided in your dreams. Ask. Remember, it's like a tribe of invisible helpers that can't really intervene unless you ask for it. They can intervene if it's a life-threatening situation and it's not your time to go, but that's about it. Planet of free will, right? You've got to ask to invite them in, okay? It's not seeing is believing, it's believing is seeing, you know, and you've got to ask. You know, and you sit with them every week. I mean, every month with me, with our team here, you know. That's this crew. They're just, in my mind, they're sitting around a table having a chat, often with Hawaiian shirts and bloody cocktails in their hands, just for fun, you know, little fruit and umbrellas and stuff. It's just fun, you know, but also very sacred and very helpful and very profound, you know. They don't want to make too much light of it if you're in a dark space, but they desperately want you to know that they're here, you know, desperately want you to know that they're here and that you deserve it. You deserve their support just as much as anyone, you know. Don't dim your light to fit in. Stand up, be proud, feed the lion, not the monkey, you know. Sorry, the camera focus was freaking out then. And say yes to them as much as you say yes to yourself and your new treasuring, tasting, savouring the strawberry life, as much as you say yes to everything else in your life, you know, and to everyone else that's positive and full of life and light. Okay, third time lucky. The battery died again. I did charge it up just enough to finish the last two cards, so that's good. And I was just about to say I'm going to leave it there, and the battery died again. I don't know why. I literally charged it up and double checked it and everything. Anyway, I'm sitting on the floor and hanging on to the camera because the PowerPoint's down here. Being flexible, see. Yes, I was just about to say cheerio when it died again, so I will leave it there. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year, all the rest of it. Stay in peace, stay in your heart as much as you can, stay hydrated through all of these crazy times that we're in. Very much love to you all. Thank you for following along, and I will speak to you again very soon. Take care. Much love. Bye.